A young merchant's son stands in the Persian marketplace, surrounded by wealth and comfort. In one moment, a wandering dervish passes through, and everything shifts. The boy sees beyond the silk and spices, sees suffering in the streets. By sunset, he's given it all away. This is Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, the man who would become Gharib Nawaz, the friend of the poor. His story isn't ancient history. It's a blueprint for anyone suffocating under the weight of ambition. Let's begin. Begin.
Here, in this sacred space, the spirit of Gharib Nawaz lives on, inspiring millions. Let's begin. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, a name that echoes through the ages, embodies a legacy woven with threads of love, compassion, and transformational spirituality. Imagine a boy in the bustling markets of Sijistan, Persia, around the year 1141. The air is filled with exotic spices and the melody of merchants trading their wares. Young Moinuddin, born into a pious family, finds himself alone after losing his parents in the tender years of his childhood, inheriting a garden and a mill. But instead of staying rooted in material possessions, a chance encounter with a wandering dervish awakens in him a calling far greater than worldly success. With an open heart, he sells everything, distributing his wealth to the poor, and embarks on a journey of spiritual discovery. As he travels, the vibrant landscapes unfold before him, from the deserts to the lush gardens of Samarkand and Bukhara, where the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom reigns supreme. The ancient walls of madrasas whisper secrets of the universe as he immerses himself in study, becoming a hafiz and a revered scholar. Imagine a young man, not merely reading texts, but absorbing their essence, chanting verses that stir the very soul, a symphony of spiritual awakening. At the tender age of 20, he receives a divine blessing, accepting Khwaja Usman Haruni as his mentor. For 20 years, he undergoes the rigorous and profound practices of tasawwuf, filled with nights of prayers, days of fasting, and the spiritual journey of pilgrimages to Mecca and Medina, as desolate deserts turn into sanctuaries of devotion. In Medina, standing under the shade of the sacred mosque, he experiences a moment that changes his life forever. A celestial encounter with Prophet Muhammad himself bestows upon him a divine directive to travel to the mystical land of India. Summoning all his courage, he sets off, bringing with him the teachings of love and tolerance, and envisioning a world where unity prevails amid chaos. Arriving in Ajmer around 1192, he finds a land steeped in political unrest under Prithviraj Chauhan's rule. But the power of his spirit becomes a beacon of hope. Here, he establishes the Chishti Sufi order, nurturing a community rooted in compassion and a love for humanity. Known as Gharib Nawaz, or Benefactor of the Poor, he attracts followers not just through words, but through miraculous experiences, karamats that defy imagination. Envision the crowd gasping as he glides effortlessly across the arid deserts or gazes into the hearts of those seeking clarity, his eyes twinkling with divine insight. At the core of his teachings is a profound message that transcends cultures and ages: universal love, tolerance, humility, and the importance of service to humanity. Today, as we navigate a world often divided by differences, Moinuddin's teachings remind us that love knows no boundaries. He emphasized devotional practices that resonate deeply with the soul, advocating for the inclusion of music in worship, which made Islam relatable to the local people. As melodies filled the air, they bridged gaps, bringing communities closer together in a shared expression of faith. Moinuddin's legacy flourished through his disciples, figures like Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki, Baba Farid, and Nizamuddin Auliya, who took his teachings across South Asia, illuminating hearts and minds far and wide. Imagine serene gardens where these enlightened souls spread wisdom, their laughter mingling with the whispers of the wind, nurturing a culture of acceptance and love. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti passed away in 1236, but his spirit remains eternally alive in Ajmer's Dargah, a sacred site that hums with energy and devotion. Here, every stone, every tile, tells a story of faith that knows no religion, drawing in millions who seek solace and connection irrespective of their backgrounds. Pilgrims walk slowly, deep in prayer, as the golden dome glistens under the sun like a promise of hope and divinity. In our modern lives, we often grapple with loneliness, disconnection, and the overwhelming shadows of turmoil that threaten our peace.
If you're grinding yourself hollow, chasing validation that never fills the void, Moinuddin's life speaks directly to you. This week, find one person who's invisible in your world, the overlooked colleague, the forgotten neighbor, and see them, really see them. That single act of recognition mirrors the radical compassion that transformed a merchant's son into a saint. If this story moved you, subscribe and join thousands discovering how ancient wisdom heals modern wounds. Stay rooted in the wisdom of the ages.